We have tea. We have a fairy. We have paint. We have journals. We have dolls' houses, dioramas and miniatures. And of course, we have stitching. Welcome to Helen Kitty Cat Crafts. Hello, thanks for popping by and welcome to DIY My Chateau, and we are on part 13. I hope you're all well. So I finished my little tower. I finally stuck all the lollipop sticks to it because I decided I wanted something different to the brickwork. So there it is in place. Aren't you impressed? Don't worry about the foil. I'm just about to explain that to you. So I think every tower needs a tree. Now, I think I'd rather make my own tree. So let's get started. So first of all, we need to gather our foil and our cardboard and put on our hot glue gun. And this is a simple method. It is basically the same as going back to school, apart from you wouldn't use a hot glue gun unless it was an unsafe school, of course. So we simply add a bit of glue to either the property, that sounds rather grand, doesn't it? The wall or the foil, whichever you find suits you best. And we're scrunching as we go, and the idea is to add as much texture and shape as you want. So because it's foil, you can bend it into any shape. Don't be frightened of adding too much glue. We need a lot of glue. And glue a bit and scrunch a bit and glue a bit and scrunch a bit. Now I learnt very early on doing this, and not on this particular creation but on a different one, that obviously foil heats up. So if you are using a glue gun, please do be very, very careful because the foil does actually get quite warm. The only reason I use a heat gun, I actually don't like a heat gun. The only reason I'm using the heat gun is because it dries quick. So I'm not messing about with waiting for glue to dry off before I can do the next bit and having to secure the foil to the wall another way while it dries, because obviously we're on a vertical building. So this is just the inside cardboard tubing from a kitchen foil roll, which I have cut down the middle and made into two long semicircular tubes and attached them. As you can see, I like to add lots of glue and then put the foil around the outside. And it does dry quite quickly. I find it best if you leave it a sort of 24 hours before you try and paint it, but then to be fair, I leave most things 24 hours before I try and paint them anyway. But doing it this way just allows you to create the shape that you want, a bespoke shape, so it's going to be unique to you, but it'll also fit into where you want it to be, rather than trying to mould plastic trees and things like that. So I actually quite like using the foil to do this with. I've also seen it done with kitchen roll. Not quite as effective because you don't get the same texture. I've also seen it done with greaseproof, which I think in America is baking parchment with a really thin waxed paper. The only trouble with that is that you need to make sure you add PVA before you paint it, because otherwise the paint won't take very well. But basically you can just keep going and going and add it and make any shape that you want. And it is quite sturdy and it is quite long lasting. It actually lasts amazingly well. It's quite robust. So now we're going to veer off and make a few more branches. We have to remember that the tower is going over the other side, so it can't cross over into that space. That's fine. Make sure it's stuck. Foil's also quite lightweight as well, so we're not adding any extra weight to the house, which is good because it's getting quite heavy now. See, just scrunch, scrunch, scrunch. Lots of texture, lots of shape. It's really good fun. I like using foil to create things. It is just so much fun. It is like going back to school. But you can just bend it, shape it, stick it. Yes, I burnt my finger there. Stick it down. It does stick surprisingly easily. It does, honest. It's just because I'm trying to be clever and do 2 strips at once. On another note there, you see on the towards the back there is like little indentations where my fingers are. Yep, that is what happens if you heat up your glue gun too much and leave it on for too long with foam board. But that's fine because you're not going to see those dents anyway, because that's where the tower's going, so you're not going to see them. And there's the tree all finished. What do you think? Well, it's not all finished. I've got the foil up. So now we're going to add some gesso, because gesso just helps acrylic paint stick that little bit better than the gesso, the whole lot. The foam board on the side, I've just put little grooves in it to give it a little bit more texture of brickwork. And this is the tower and the tree at the side of the house where it's going to live. But of course trees aren't silver, are they? Even silver birches aren't silver. So we're going to paint the tree, but I think first what we'll do is put a coat on the actual wall. And seems a bit odd working on the side of the house first, I know, but because of where I've got it located, I need to keep moving the house every time I want to try and paint the side or do some work on the side. So I figured if I got the side done first, then I wouldn't have to keep moving it out anymore, because I'm just conscious that every time I move it out, I'm sliding everything that is in the house. So once I start putting furniture in there, I'm not going to want to keep sliding it out and about. So I decided that I'm going to finish the sides first, and then I can push it back to the wall and I won't have to worry about it anymore. So this is painting the tree trunk. Nice dark, dark chocolatey brown. It won't all stay chocolatey brown, but this is going to be my base coat, so a nice, good, thick, dark layer. And there we have it. What do you think? I think it's turned out okay. I mean, it obviously still needs dressing, but, you know, it's not a bad start. So I will leave you there. Hope you've enjoyed this, and please do come back again soon. Thanks for coming. Take care now. Goodbye.